Hey there guys, it's been a while since I've done a video-like thing. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, there is a Five Nights at Freddy Security Breach fan game supposedly out in the wild called Five Nights at Freddy Security Breach Blue Line Remastered. And as you could probably tell from the title and the thumbnail, I don't think that this is a real game or you know, project of any kind. This strikes me as a series of animations that have been compiled together to create a massive charade at a project that just simply doesn't exist. And this is really just going to go over a couple of the things that I've noticed is a little bit suspicious and just doesn't feel right. I would be watching some videos, but I don't want to make this video too long, especially because I feel like these are the kind of guys that would try to get this video taken down, and knowing YouTube, they'd probably get their way. So I'm not going to do anything too fancy because there's no reason to, but we're going to start with some things that I do genuinely think is really dodgy. So this thing is supposed to be out already. It was supposed to release yesterday, and you still can't download it for reasons that they will so nicely get into. So, this is from their official YouTube channel. We have, Dear Community, yesterday was a day we will never forget. Our new game Five Nights at Freddy Security Breach Blue Line Remastered was released, and the responses completely overwhelmed us. Within just 2 hours, an incredible 682,924 people wanted to get their hands on it. Numbers, hey, still can't talk. Numbers like these are beyond words, and we are endlessly grateful for your support, your trust, and your excitement. The demand was so immense that our servers reached their limits at times. The editions we had planned to last an entire month sold out in less than 4 minutes. You have truly surpassed even our boldest expectations. So here's the red flag immediately. They had a limited supply of these things. They do have a reason for this, mind, and that'll be amazing to get through. So they only had a limited number for people to get a hold of. So this is where we're at with fan games and such. Which, by the way, may I mention, they have a website built using Wix, of all things. I don't think I've seen a fan game ever use Wix, of all things, to promote their game. As far as I'm aware, they usually just used GameJolt, because people would be familiar with that, but no, here we are with Wix, of all things. And yeah, gotta love that. Also, I decided to take a little note. Developer, Blue Line Entertainment, Blue Line Studios. Project Manager, Leon W. Editing video, Blue Line Entertainment, Blue Nitro Animation. Editing audio, Blue Line Entertainment, Blue Line Studios, DJ Silver. Editing gameplay in air quotes, Blue Line Entertainment, Blue Line Engine. Editing general, Blue Line Entertainment, Leon 08115 Studio. Support live production, Universe Entertainment. Blue Line / Engine Spiel Production. Spiel meaning play. Now, you might notice that there's no sort of talk about any hardware specifications needed for this game. And bearing in mind as well that they try to promote a little bit further down at, all the things it's able to achieve, all this, I'm going to say quite ugly shine and gloss effects and, apparently dynamic weather effects, which would not be necessary in the slightest. We have ray tracing technology, HDR support, enhanced physics, everything that they're basically trying to sell you on, you'd be lucky to find in most AAA games today, much less a fan game. So this is pretty beefy stuff. But again, none of this actually talks about any hardware requirements whatsoever, which for a fan game, yeah, that's a little bit suspicious. Not gonna lie. So let's go back to their YouTube page, because they have a community post that was done a couple of days before the release of the game. The wait is almost over. The time has finally come. Very soon, Five Nights at Freddy Security Breach Blue Line Remastered will be released. Today we would like to share some important information with you before launch. This project is not a modification, it is a completely independent game developed with great passion for all of you. Notice how it's not like with great passion for the series, which, you know, it's they're saying, you know, we're making this for you guys, we're not making it because we like the series or making it for us or anything, which generally does feel a little bit weird, but, you know, whatever. Artificial intelligence in the game. Yes, there will be AI. You'll be able to use your microphone to speak directly with selected characters, creating brand new and immersive gameplay experiences. Now, on one hand, that sounds kind of cool. On the other, this is a horror game where you're trying to avoid contact with the enemy, so I really don't know how, you know, that's really going to work in this kind of game. We have extended the total playtime for the original 14 hours to 21 hours, allowing you to dive even deeper into the world. How nice of them to keep it somewhat realistic in their expectations, because the specifications of what they're trying to achieve certainly isn't. Price. This game is our way of saying thank you. Thank you to who? Who are they thanking, actually, here? Because they've already established that they're not making this because of their passion of the game. But hey. Availability. Since this is a fan project, the game will not be available permanently. A fixed number of versions will be released each month, and once that number is reached, no further versions can be offered. We kindly ask for your understanding. Unfortunately, this has to be the case. Why? What copyright laws exist where you make a fan game of something, but you can only offer so many of these keys, as it were, to let people play the game? Now, if you were that concerned about, you know, a potential cease and desist order from Steel Wool, surely you would have a private download on a Discord server or something. You know, you that way you keep the notoriety down to a minimum, and that way it would definitely last a lot longer. Many people have started using Discord as a means of, you know, a sort of buffer, as it were, to get access to certain files. And then it talks about including the rat from Five Nights at Candy's, I believe. So, you know, we got that. But do not worry. They have evidence that this game does in fact exist to a degree, because people do have the game, apparently. And I have 3 people that have the game, apparently. So the first one up is Elias. He was nice enough to upload this sort of like intro cutscene of the game for Gregory. And, you know, it's whatever. Again, you can see the title there if you really want to watch the video yourself. It's their own version of the intro, I guess. It's been a while since I played the game, so I can't really compare one-to-one, but that's really not the point I'm trying to make, because you'll notice that this person that has been lucky enough to get this game only actually seems to be affiliated with Blue Line, including this Five Nights at Freddy's 101, which I'm pretty sure is also another Blue Line sort of thing. I don't know anything about that, but this is on this remaster, so we'll ignore that for now. Same goes for his community post. The only thing he's actually posted is this weird art of Mangle over a year ago, and of course mentioning that Blue Line Remastered is here. And this guy was fortunate enough to get the game, but he's only going to show us the Gregory scene. You know, he wants us to maybe get this game for ourselves before we can see any more of it. So it's pretty obvious here that this guy is in on this little charade here. But surely Catron Seed would be fine. No. He literally has a video on the title screen. That's it. Just the title screen, nothing else. And, yeah, he has no... Oh, no, he does have community posts. They just didn't show up on that initial page. And, for someone who claims to love Five Nights at Freddy's so much, he's only talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff relating, well, this year. Yeah, sure, buddy. Unfortunately, there's no... Hang on. So he joined September of last year. Conveniently, almost exactly a year before this whole thing started, with Blue Line. I believe the trailer was initially released back in August or something. But yes, this is another sort of like dummy account, I'm gonna say, that's trying to make this project seem real. And the last one we have Julian Zeba, which, yeah, same again, just nothing but affiliation with Blue Line. That's all his videos relate to. I must say I don't know anything about Blue Line. They make themselves seem like quite a big thing, but I don't know anyone who's actually, talked about them in the slightest. And then we have his posts. Yeah, not really anything to go by. I mean, far be it from me to judge what people post about, but this whole thing is just incredibly suspicious. I can't really... no. Oh yeah, it's made with the Unreal Engine, apparently. With Blue Line programming. Is that a thing that you can do with Unreal Engine? That's very strange to me. Is it possible to get more details? Where's my nerd details? Because I wanted to see when exactly this was uploaded, because one thing I noticed when I was looking at these yesterday is that all of these videos were all uploaded nigh on at the same time, within like half an hour of each other. So that's a little bit suspicious, don't you think? But if you look through all these videos, you'll see that there is not a drop of gameplay. It's either just the title screen, or varying different cutscenes and intros. They all have like different little clips of like the first things that you would so say experience in the game. And then we have the Twitter account, which hasn't been updated to even mention the whole thing that the game is released. They do actually have a comment. I can't wait to see it. A few days later. So where is it? Yep. It's nowhere, and I don't think it will ever be out. And honestly, there's loads of other things. Again, I don't. This is mostly just a PSA more than anything to say, look, I don't think this thing is real. There's way too many suspicious things. In fact, let's have a little look about this. So, Breach, Blue Line Remastered. See if there's anything been uploaded today on the game. Ah, isn't that convenient? No results found. Maybe they only had the 3 keys that would last the entire month, and yep, those 3 people have managed to be the ones to get it. So only these people here have the information that we so need of this not even real fan game. Now, again, I don't know what end that they're trying to reach here. I don't know if they're just here for the clicks, or some people like me to try and point them out so they got something to play with. I really don't know, and to be honest, should we really care? I suppose I cared enough to make a video, but really I don't want this to end up being a case of they finally open up these downloads and then it ends up installing malware or some other virus to your computer, because yeah, that's not great. But again, who knows? For all I know, in November they could claim that they got a cease and desist from Steel Wool to stop all activity, which is entirely possible. They could just end it there and just have one big mystery surrounding that. Maybe that's what they're after. They just want a story to tell. But whatever it is, I just don't think this game is real in the slightest. There's way too many things that just seem wrong. But I can't tell you what to look forward to. I'm just here to, say my piece. This is a very unscripted video. I didn't even think I'd be making this thing today, but this whole thing just sort of grabbed my attention a little bit, and I guess the weirdness kind of hooked me. So maybe I'm the real sucker. At any rate, I hope you guys take care and stay safe on the internet. There's a lot of weird things out there.